not having a great day, Kim.
We're gonna hold it for 30.
I think this will be a real life-changing event.
It's finally nice enough outside again to go out for just a delightful little morning jaunt with Pat. Mornings like today where it's maybe potentially just a little bit icy out. And I've got gator skin tires on, which are really tough, not very supple. I only like to fill my tires up to 100 PSI, even just a little bit under 100. Alright, I might not see much out there. It is dark, and I don't know if old GoPro is gonna pick up much light out there. Try to bring you along for as much as I can. I am not having a great day, Kim. Well, 2 tubes later, and got it going, and then we decide to do a 7-minute hard finish through the park. I love that hard finish. Of course, Pat got me by a wheel length. Flat tires, guys, flat tires. I picked up a little interesting flat tire changing tidbit. You know how wheels can be tough to like fit the tire on if it's really tight? Especially Continental tires are super tight. What you do when you start putting tire onto the wheel and the tube is flat inside, what you do is kind of pinch the tire in and press it down, and keep doing that all the way around the tire as you snap it into the wheel. And what that does is pinching it in and pressing it down gets that tire nicely settled into the wheel well, so you're getting yourself slack as you're going around, and then when it gets really tight on the other side, it's gonna be a little bit easier. The more you know. I'm getting out of the office for a little bit because I find it helpful just to check out, not be around people, put on the headphones, and just do a good hour of focused work. That's Teddy. They're waiting for tacos.
But
when are they coming?
I didn't hear that. Okay.
They have a taco emergency at the moment. Aren't all times when you want a taco and you don't have a taco emergency? We are in for a treat, Trainiacs. Something pretty badass that's about to happen. I don't know if any of you have heard about Jesse Itzler, but he wrote a book called, I think, Living with a Marine, where he hired a Marine to come and kick his ass and live with him for a month. He's in Winnipeg, and he's holding a workout at our local stadium with a business group. Oh, the one that I spoke to 2 weeks ago. And I got invited to go do the workout with them. Okay, so we're rolling. Jesse,
Cool.
why don't you introduce yourself to, I call them the Trainiacs.
Hello, Trainiacs. I'm Jesse Itzler. I'm the author of a book called Living with the Seal. Live in Atlanta, Georgia, and psyched to be here.
Ultra runner.
Ultra runner, ultra racer, and a variety of disciplines, and an entrepreneur and dad.
You want to talk about your book? It's pretty intense stuff. I talk a lot with these folks about like getting in the habit of taking on those super scary challenges.
Yeah.
That book is scary.
I was doing a 100-mile relay race with 4 friends, and the format of the race is you run a mile, I run a mile, and whatever team completes the most miles in 24 hours wins. And there was a guy at the start of the race who had no one to relay with. He was his own relay team, and he was about 280 pounds, something like that. Big guy. And at mile 70, because of his weight, he had crushed all the small bones in both of his feet. Literally just broke all the bones. And he didn't eat. He had kidney failure. He was peeing blood in his chair. And I was like, we got to get this guy to a hospital. And what did he do? He duct taped his feet, got out of the chair, and ran another 30 miles to get to his goal of 100. And I'm like, I got to meet that guy. So I Googled him and learned he was a Navy SEAL. And the reason why I wanted to meet him is because I figured whatever drive he had that got him out of the chair, if I could get that secret sauce and package it into my life as an athlete, as a dad, as a businessman, if I could tap into that, everything would be better. So I cold called him, flew out to meet him, and realized I wouldn't get that in a lunch meeting, and asked him out of nowhere if he'd come live with me. And he said yes. So I wrote a book about our experience called Living with a SEAL, which is really taps into that mindset and how we all have it, but how do we all tap into it? And that's what it's about.
It's cool. You should check it out. Do you want to talk about your race? Plug the race.
Yeah, no.
Race
We were just talking about this. We got a really cool race we're doing in October. It's called 29029. And what we did is we rented a ski mountain in the States, the entire resort, the entire mountain. We're setting up an amazing base camp at the bottom of the hill where everybody gets their own tent, their own queen size bed. There'll be 200 tents, food trucks, bands. So it's very festive. But here's the race. You climb up the top of the ski mountain, you take the gondola down, and you go back up and down until you ascend Mount Everest, 29,029 feet. So you have really 3 days to do it. It should take about 18 hours. It'll be a life-changing experience with amazing people. And if you want to learn anything about it, or me, or the book, you can either email me, jesse@livingwiththeseal.com, goes right to me, or follow me on social media. I'm at the 100 mile man. That's a self
do it. That's
self-plugging
cool.
Myself, but
that's cool.
but maybe I know that you have an audience of people that really want to push themselves and might be sick of the traditional races. I think this will be a real life-changing event, and for me, I'm always looking for things that can build my life resume. You know, I've done a marathon, I've done an ultra, and you know, I've done some shorter triathlon distances, but these kind of themed races where you really have to see what the hell you're made of, things that you remember for a lifetime, are what make me feel the most alive. So if there's any like-minded people that want to join us, man, I'd love to host you, and it's going to be some event.
You just whipped my ass in 45 minutes. Imagine what you could do in 2 days.
No. You know what's great about this race? It's completely doable. So my wife, who doesn't, you know, it is completely mental. You can walk the whole thing, which I'm gonna do. But it's just about, you know, being completely present, focused on this, and completing the task of going up and down until you climb Mount Everest. And you know, there'll be housewives that you know, have kids and jobs and work that don't train the way you and I train that do it, and there'll be world-class athletes that don't, you know, that finish or don't finish based on what's up here. So that's why we're doing it.
That's awesome. Check it out.
Yeah, thank you, man. Great to meet you. Thanks for having me. See you guys.
We're gonna wrap it up there, folks. See you, Trainiacs.